What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the KellyCast. I'm your host, Dan Kelly. This is my podcast where we keep you up to date with the latest in the NFL, the KellyCast predictions with 12 people all fighting for the KellyCast World Championship. And of course, as you can see by the set, your latest Buffalo Bills content. It was a tough week. It was a very tough week. The Bills, of course, losing to the Houston Texans 23-20 in Houston, the Stefon Diggs revenge game, all of that nonsense. Let's get right into it, and I want to start with a very simple piece of this puzzle, and that is none other than Josh Allen. His worst day as a pro in a very, very long time, right? I think we can all agree on that. I know the receivers did not help him much. I get it. I'm not putting the blame solely on Josh Allen, but he had a bad day, completing only 30% of his passes. In total, 9 players caught passes. 4 of them were by wide receivers. 9 of 30, 131 yards, a touchdown, and only 4.4 in yards per catch for Josh. Now, he still didn't have an interception, which is great. He's still playing really turnover-free football, a 55.4 QBR. That's out of 158, okay? And like I said, I get it. The receivers did not help him very much, but Josh really, really struggled against the Houston Texans. And the crazy thing about it was that it was man coverage, and I heard the announcers kind of mention this during the game. Josh normally picks apart man coverage. It's usually just slice and dice, right? But that's not the case in this one, and Mac Hollins should not be out there. I think the Bills need to make a move for a wide receiver, honestly, 100%. Whether it's Devontae, whether it's the wide receiver Amari Cooper from the Cleveland Browns, Romeo Doubs from the Green Bay Packers, if they're ready to move on from him, I'm not sure. He was suspended last week due to conduct detrimental to the team. They did come out and say, hey, we trust him, he's our guy, but for this week, he's not our guy, right? So I think there needs to be a move, but it's not crazy to say that Josh Allen needs to play better. You're not going to win a game with your quarterback going 9 of 30. Let's look at another piece on the offense here, and that's James Cook. Now, the first 2 drives, I thought James Cook looked really good, and he ended the day 20 carries, 82 yards, 4.1 yards per carry, a touchdown, and a long of only 12. But I feel like they went away from the rushing game too early. I understand at the end of the first half they were down 17-3 and they kind of had to throw it a little bit. But when this game got closer, I wish they would have relied on James Cook a little bit more. I saw the Bills losing on the trenches all day on the offensive line and the defensive line. Everybody was kind of struggling. Josh Allen got sacked only once, it looks like, but we saw how many hits he took, and more on that a little bit later. Josh on the ground, 4 carries, 54 yards. Ty Johnson, 3 for 15, and Curtis Samuel had a carry that went for -1 yards. This was a full team loss. A full team loss when you talk about the Bills offense. Who's to blame? Kind of everybody. Josh, James, the wide receivers, the tight ends that have been disappointing, the offensive line, the offensive coordinator. Again, more on that a little bit later. Let's get into the leading receiver for the Bills on this day, who was, of course, the rookie wideout, Keon Coleman. Now, he led the team in receiving based off of 1 catch. It was great. It was 4th and 5. It was a 49-yard touchdown catch and run. You love to see it. It's a part of the Bills offense that we've been missing ever since, the speed kind of got trimmed away on the team. And Keon, great. Love to see it for him. But 1 catch? I'd love to see a little bit more. I know there was a miscommunication from him and Josh early on in the game when he didn't get his head quite turned around. The ball hit him right in the freaking face, it looked like. And I need to see more from him. I need to see more from the receivers in general. I talked to a lot of people during this game, and it's like, is Khalil Shakir really, I understand he's a good player. He's a great player in this offense. But is he that important that we look like this when he doesn't play? Or was this kind of a combination of a couple of things. Obviously, the Bills have a lot of injuries they're dealing with in terms of the defense and, missing Vaughn, of course, suspended. You're missing Milano. You're missing a lot of guys. But, hey, next man up. There's no excuses. And speaking about guys who were missing but not anymore, Terrell Bernard. What a game, man. He comes back from injury, forces an interception, gets a 4th down stop. He either leads the team or he's second on the team in terms of tackles. Oh, no, he's down there. Okay. So he's up there. But Terrell Bernard had an amazing performance. That interception really put the Bills back in the game. And I want to just touch on the defense here. This game, 23-20 was the final, only allowing 23 to the high-powered Houston Texans offense. If Nico Collins doesn't get injured on that 78-yard touchdown, maybe you give up a little bit more, right? I think that's fair to say. Diggs does what, we know he can, and he has a pretty good day. Luckily, we didn't let him get in the end zone. I'm very, very happy about that. But Bernard played a really big part. DeJuan Smoot forces a fumble. The Bills are in position to score, and they end up settling for 3. The defense did everything that they could, even with their limited resources, their limited health. Cole Bishop starting at safety has a miscommunication again on that 78-yard touchdown, and they were just playing from behind all day long. Now let's discuss this play calling issue that everybody wants to talk about, right? The Bills get the ball at their own 5, I believe, is where the punt is at. Then they get a penalty. They get moved back. Offensive pass interference. I thought that was a bogus call, by the way. But the Bills get moved back to their 2-yard line. The next 3 plays are 3 passing plays that don't go on to gain a single yard. We all know what happens from there. Now, a lot of national analysts and a lot of people in general just want to say, hey, the Bills should have ran the football, gotten a couple yards, made them waste their timeouts. I get that level of thinking, but from the 2-yard line, if you run the football, you're really risking that safety by a lot, especially with the way the Bills' offensive line kind of played on the day. So I don't mind trusting Josh Allen in that spot. I don't mind it. What I do mind is, why are we throwing 50-yard bombs? Why can't we get a drag, a slant, something short? Get ourselves a couple of yards out of the safety zone and move forward. Like the video, by the way. Thanks, OBS. But just get a little bit of yardage, make them waste the timeout. And obviously that's not what happened. The Bills go on to punt. Robert Woods gets a 10, 15-yard return. What a play call. What a play call by the offensive coordinator for Houston to get themselves just a little bit of yardage, to get themselves into field goal range. Kaimi Fairbairn nails a 59-yard field goal. Bills go home 3-2, and Texans, they look good, man. They're going to be a team to watch out for. And I said it all off season, but really seeing them kind of gel together is making me really believe their hype. The Buffalo Bills, next up for them, a meeting with the Jets, Monday Night Football next week. You don't want to call it a must-win this early on in the season. It's a divisional game. The Bills have just dropped 2 after winning their first 3. It's a very, very important game. More on that in the videos to come. For now, I'm Dan Kelly with the KellyCast. I want to thank you for watching. If you got this far, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Until then, take it easy.